Just arrived in Berlin. Made our way to a hotel. This is a really cool area. It's a kind of like a cafe, vibey area. And there are indeed little cafes and restaurants everywhere. So we're wandering down Kurfürstendamm to this church. Remains. It was bombed in the Second World War and it was left as is. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in the video. It's quite striking. It's set amongst all the new buildings. Now we're going to find a way across the road. Trisha's very good at that. Kaiser Wilhelm Church. See, left as it was after World War II. And it's got some kind of more modern sculptures attached to it. Well, this is a U-Bahn station. It's really an older one. But it's pretty spectacular. Victory column erected to celebrate the three victories in the three Prussian wars. This is the epitome of Berlin. Such a city of contrasts. Got the old St. Mary's Church, one of the oldest in Berlin. And then you've got the 1950s TV tower right behind it. So this statue of Martin Luther was commissioned, created by Paul Otto in 2017 to mark the 500th anniversary of Protestantism in Berlin, or in Germany. Now I've lost Patricia. Oh, there she is. It's amazing how some of these survived, and survived structurally enough to be patched up. And here we've got Alexanderplatz, I think, in the background. The TV tower and St. Mary's old church. So 1950s TV tower in the background and the 13th century St. Mary's Church in the foreground. So heading down Karl Marx Alley, the Eastern Premier Boulevard. Numerous prefab constructed, what Jack would call commie blocks, still here.
Diğer tarafta. Bunun devamı.
This gallery, 150 metres, decorated by 30-something artists and a protected monument. There, the epitome of the East. We've just come down Karl Marx Alley and here we are at Alexanderplatz with the TV tower in the background. This was pretty much the centre of GDR Berlin city. There's Patricia once again, waiting for me. This is a famous world club, but as you can see, it's got every time in the world. There is one thing missing. See Sydney, Canberra, Melbourne. It's got Perth over there. But what it doesn't understand is that Brisbane has its own time. So we're here at the memorial to Jews deported and murdered during the Nazi regime. It's called the Field of Stellae. This is tremendously powerful. They ask you to be quiet, not to smoke, although I can hear children, unfortunately, yelling. But at least they're coming here. Now we're on the red top bus and there are 150,000 children on here. But this is part of the wall, just near here to Potsdamer Platz. Last remaining of the original 3.6 meters high. So I'm here at Checkpoint Charlie. I was here in 1982 and I had to actually come through here. Took a couple of hours. There was a long corridor along here to come into East Germany for the day. It was a fairly dark and grey experience. Certainly nothing like it is today. I don't know if that shot's real. That museum over there was here, and so this museum and cafe was here in 1983 when I crossed. And I remember coming in and having a look. It was interesting. So we're heading into the Panorama exhibition, which is supposed to be spectacular. Thank you to Jack Roaming for recommending this. Fabulous photo documentary of the wall from 1961 through to 1989 with film clips, photographs, people's stories of the journey of the wall. Towards the Brandenburg Gate. This is a memorial to the Romani people, also known as the Sinti and Roma, people of Europe murdered under National Socialism. We think this is a memorial to people who tried to cross the wall and died in the process, because they're all dated August, September, October 1961. So I found out the reason that the image of the Brandenburg Gate from the back looks very much to me like it did in 1983, where you couldn't approach it because it was in GDR. This fencing is for the construction of a giant screen, not even for the Eurovision Song Contest, but for football, for Eurocup. Honestly, really? So we're doing something now that you couldn't do between 1945 and 1989. We're walking through the Brandenburg Gate. In front of us is Unter den Linden chair. Of course, there are a million people here, and why not, admiring this beautiful construction. Amazing, isn't it, that we can do something you couldn't do as recently as 1989?
Exactly.
I'm going to walk through again, not through the side bit, just because we can. Incredible to think in our lifetime you couldn't do something as simple as walk through this gate.
Take freedom for granted now.
Yes, don't we? So this magnificent Reichstag building was initially used, it was constructed in between 1884 and 1894, so it took 10 years to build. It was initially used as the seat of government for the Weimar Republic. Nazi Germany started to use it, but there was a fire, pretty devastating fire in 1933, so they didn't use it after that. They moved across to what is now the Opera House. It was situated in the Red Army. Soviets used it as they attacked Berlin to liberate Berlin. They liberate, interesting choice of phrase, but anyway, you know what I mean. Used it as quite a target because it is so symbolic. It was reconstructed, rebuilt, but between kind of the 1945 and 1990, when Berlin unified, it couldn't really be used as a parliament building because it was in the west, so the East German government couldn't use it, and the West German couldn't use it because the capital was in Bonn. But it's certainly quite a significant building. Such an impressive building. It's just, it's kind of like hugeness. And that was, talking of huge, we had a huge lunch. So Patricia there has got takeaway, which will be tonight's dinner, because neither of us could eat either of our lunches. You can just see the glass dome here. Better view of it. You can actually walk in there, walk around it. Such a staggering building. The Spectre Berlin built this monument in memory of the 96 members of the Reichstag Parliament of the Weimar Republic who were murdered by the National Socialists. They were supported by this in the Confederation of Trade Unions, District Office Tiergarten, the Senator of Cultural Affairs, and numerous private citizens. Wow. There are just so many interesting sculptures in Berlin. I'm looking for something to say what this is. It's about people.
Not bad.
Currywurst and beer. What could be more Berlin than that? Look at that. It was that's equidistant out the end of the other side. And this currywurst is traditional Berlin fare. Sometimes this has got the curry powder on the top there with a kind of like a spicy tomato sauce, and sometimes it comes ready mixed in a more of an orange sauce. But great. Down in the market, down near Kaiser Wilhelm Church at the bottom of Teinegstrasse, near the Europa building. Fabulous. So, Patricia, your first German sausage and your first German beer. What are your thoughts?
German sausage is not too bad. A bit salty on the first bite, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
A bit spicy, but it was very nice.
Yeah.
The beer, dirty dishwater.
Oh.
That's what I'd say.
Oh my.
Tasted terrible.
Well, all I can say is cheers.